Welcome back to Onboard Lifestyle. Well, first things first, look at me. I'm standing. I feel pretty good this week. We're gonna have a real productive week on this hardtop project. You know, it's been feeling a little bit like Groundhog's Day. Just lamination after lamination after lamination, same process, sanding and fairing in between each coat. But we're at a good spot right now to kind of change things up, start working on the edge treatment, shaping this in, getting the light soffit in. So it's going to be an exciting week. Been thinking about it and getting down here and working on this every day for the past 10 days, and that's about how long it took for my back to get to this point. But with every lamination we put down, this thing got a little more rigid, and we have a few more laminations to go, but I'm feeling pretty good about it actually. Been tracking the weight of this project by just calculating which materials we're using, and so far we only have 105.1 pounds of material here. That includes the core, all the cloth, the resins, hardeners, even the fairing compound. So we're doing real well. My goal for this entire hardtop is 200 pounds. If we could do that, we're gonna come in half the weight of the last hardtop. We do have some more metal work that we'll be picking up this week, and we'll see what that weighs, but I'm assuming right around 100 pounds for the support posts. So 300 pounds versus 555 pounds, I'm happy. First thing we're gonna do today is just start laying out the soffit, and I gotta start working on this edge treatment, maybe shape this thing in. Got a lot in my mind right now, so let's get to work. First thing I want to do today is actually start shaping this top in. I left these nice square corners just for the ease of trimming the laminations as we laid it up. Now that we're nice and rigid, I've put a nice radius here, and we're going to knock off 3 corners. Anywhere where I don't want lines coming around and hitting a square edge, I think it'll be easier also. You know, there'll be a raised lip that goes on here. It'll be easier to wash the boat rather than getting into tight corners in some of these areas. So even though this isn't a walking area, I think it's gonna just be easier for maintenance later. So let's do that first. I've now knocked the corners here, and I want to do this for a reason. This is actually the staircase going down into the cockpit, and I didn't want a sharp edge right here. And to match, I did all the other corners throughout the hardtop, just so they all look similar, with the exception of these two here, this one and this one. These two actually get glassed into the coach roof, and it'll be glassed straight across here. So I wanted to not knock those out. Just spent the last hour now laying out. You see this pencil mark now. This is our light soffit going down, and that's going to add a structural element to this hardtop and really give support to the center of this. You know, it'll be glassed in on this end with 8 down posts that are connected with internal backing all the way around this. But the center, I mean, this spans 11 feet wide. That's where I really need the support, and that's where this structure is really going to help. So we'll get laying that out, and I want to start this project and bounce to the edge treatment back and forth, because there'll be epoxy work on both, and while one's drying I can work on the other, and vice versa. So that's going to be the next step, is start laying all this out and get the materials cut.
So we are back at it. We are measuring up to work on our light soffit and also the edge treatment for our hardtop. And obviously we don't have all the tools that are necessary to build this. And we are so fortunate that we are in the same yard as another channel, Salt and Tar. And Ruth and Garrett were generous enough to lend us a table saw. So we're just waiting on them now, and we can get going on ripping some of this plastic lumber and start this project. Teal?
Exciting. It's gonna be much easier to use a table saw on this one. I want a pretty precise cut, so it'll be pretty handy.
Just take it easy.
I am.
No heavy lifting, mister.
Feeling much better. Feeling spry.
Right. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Really light.
Yeah.
We had our first one was so heavy to move.
Here, just set it right here and I'll put my dust cover on it.
It's like a full service yard.
I love that saw.
That's pretty sweet,
I love
right?
nice thin curve on the blade.
I know. Yeah, it's super convenient.
Yeah.
Let me clean it up or you're gonna have this white stuff all over you.
Are you sure you don't need to hang on to it for a little bit?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Something just fine.
Oh, that's bad.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, thanks guys. After this,
Yeah, no
maybe
worries.
when we have some downtime, we can grab another drink.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah, I won't go out for margaritas before coming over and then drink a lot of that whiskey.
I don't know, that was kind of fun.
Maybe like 2 less margaritas.
Yeah.
before I come over.
I want to thank Ruth and Garrett for bringing their table saw over. Thank you guys. That was awful nice. This is our edge treatment made with PVC moldings. It's ultra lightweight, rot resistant, and it's going to be perfect for our application. Next thing I want to do is take all our remnants from laying up our top. I've got tons of this sitting under here. I'm going to take all this and rip it to 3-inch rips. That's going to be our light soffit. It's pretty easy to cut. I've shown how to do it before, so I'm not going to go over that. But we'll get that all ripped up and start laying out this soffit. So after all this honeycomb is ripped to width, I'll just tack it to my outline here with a little hot glue. This way I can get it exactly where I want it before I start laying up the cloth. Pretty simple. The strength isn't with the hot glue. It's going to be with the epoxy and the glass laminations that are covering this. This is a nice way to hold it steady while I'm working. Well, look at this. It's all tacked in. It is set. it's time to start the epoxy work. I'm going to use thickened epoxy and run a bead around the interior and exterior of this whole perimeter. I'll use a 1-inch craft stick to give it that nice radius and just kind of lock this in permanently. Lynn's upstairs right now. She's mixing up my thickened epoxy. So this should go pretty quick. Oh, and bonus, check this out. Our post came in just a few minutes ago. So things are coming together. God, this is an exciting project.
Teal is down below prepping everything so we can get back to the structural soffit, and I am back to being his epoxy girl, so I'm gonna be having some fun. But I brought everything up here just because it was so windy downstairs, and the 406, as soon as I opened up the top, was flying everywhere, so it was not a good scene.
Okay, I have my thickened epoxy. I'm just working my way around. I use a 1-inch craft stick. I actually cut them in half so I can get 2 for 1 out of them. And to clean it up, just scrape an old used gift card or credit card. Does an amazing job. Well, that was a nice push there. Nice radius of epoxy. Feel good about it. That was quite a bit of work, about 4 hours. I'm gonna call it a night because I could smell dinner baking right now. You know, Lynn's got the most amazing meal cooking right now. It's a baked fried chicken. Smells wonderful. Even on the hard, she always impresses.
Let me just say, I am so happy that Teal is back to his normal self, and I can be back up here doing what I love, which is cooking. I love being in my galley, and I love to cook, even though we are on the hard. And it is a little bit tougher to cook while we're out here because there are limitations. Number one being, we have running water, but we can't drain out, so we have to contain everything that we use. So it makes things, you know, you really think about your water consumption and the amount of dishes that you use. We do not use plastic or paper plates. I hate disposables just because it's wasteful and it's not good for the environment. So we still use our normal dishes and our flatware, and that means that we have to wash every single day. So obviously I have to think about our meal planning because I want to have less of a mess. So for tonight, we are having crispy oven baked fried chicken, and it's gluten-free because we do have a lot of friends that have asked for this because I don't really think much about using flour. It's not a lot that I use anyways, but you know, having that option really makes it easier. So when we have friends over or we have someone with an allergy, it works and it doesn't taste any different. My Humpus wants to eat some. And that is it. I have my dredging mixture, I have my chicken, and it's all nice and dried, and of course I have my glass of wine. This is the key into creative juices. So aside from that, you know what's funny is that I realized something. I do things in odd numbers, and I don't know why. Well, maybe I do. My favorite number is 7, so I always do pumps of epoxy for Teal in increments of 7. And I notice here that the chicken pieces there's only 11 pieces. It's not 12, it has to be 11. And I have 1 glass of wine. So that's just what I do. It's a little quirk, but I'm okay with it. So all you do is you just dredge it, and you just make sure it's all evenly coated, and just pat it off, and you let it sit for probably about 20 to 30 minutes in the fridge, and then it's all set and ready to go into the oven. And that's it. Now that I did a second dredging, I just did a slight spray of olive oil, but that is it. And these babies are ready to be popped in the oven.
So, what do you have then?
And then Emma loves it when I make baked crispy fried chicken.
This is one of my favorites.
She has a lot of favorites, and as you can tell, she has grown quite a bit in the last couple months, and she is now almost 5 inches taller than me, so obviously I'm doing something right. Can I just say, I am so happy that we finally, after 2 weeks, a fully functioning crew now, because it's been brutal for Emma. Emma and I have had hard labor for 14 days.
But you
It
really
feels like
stepped up. Thank you for that.
I love when my mom makes my favorite, meat.
Yes, Emma is a total carnivore, so she's happy.